The laughter rang in Maria's ears long after it should have faded. The group of in-laws, dressed in their pressed clothes and smug smiles, stood in a semicircle as if mocking her from a stage. In the center of it all sat the object of their derision. A battered, rust-eaten van with flaking paint and squealing hinges. Maria stood silently, one arm wrapped protectively around her swollen belly, the other holding her toddler daughter close against her chest. She didn't answer their laughter. She had learned long ago that silence had a power of its own. "Here you go, Maria," her mother-in-law crooned, tossing her the keys with a wicked grin. "Your inheritance. Just what you deserve. We thought about splitting the land, the jewelry, the bonds, but this," she tapped the hood of the van. "This is more your style." The crowd erupted again in snickers, their faces twisted with condescension. Maria's little girl pressed her cheek against her mother's shoulder. The child was too young to understand cruelty, but not too young to feel it. Maria stroked her daughter's hair, her gaze never leaving the van. She could still hear her late husband's words, whispered in the quiet of their final days together. "Whatever happens, Maria, take care of the van. One day, it will take care of you." At the time, she thought it was a sentimental plea, perhaps a memory tied to his youth. But now, standing before the rusty beast while being mocked by people who had never accepted her, the weight of his words pressed on her chest. With dignity intact, Maria nodded and said softly, "Thank you." That simple gratitude silenced them for a brief second before laughter erupted once again. They mistook her calmness for defeat. They mistook her silence for weakness. Days turned into weeks. The van sat in Maria's yard, her in-laws whispering to neighbors about how pitiful she looked driving such an eyesore. But Maria wasn't bothered. She noticed something they never would. The more she cared for it, cleaning its interior, polishing what little shine remained, the more she noticed unusual things. The weight of the van seemed heavier than it should be, and beneath the chipped panel, she found a strange glimmer. Curiosity led her to an old mechanic, a trusted friend of her late husband. With careful hands, he peeled back a layer of corroded metal. His eyes widened. "Maria, this isn't rust. This is a disguise. The panels are lined with solid gold." Maria nearly dropped her daughter from shock. The van, the very object of ridicule, was worth a fortune, far beyond the land, jewelry, or bonds her in-laws had fought over. That night, Maria sat quietly under the stars, her daughter asleep against her belly, her unborn child stirring within. For the first time since her husband's passing, she felt his presence, his promise alive in the van's secret. Weeks later, the laughter of her in-laws died on their lips when they saw Maria again. This time, she wasn't walking in torn shoes or worn jeans. She arrived at the lawyer's office with grace and quiet strength, documents proving her inheritance now unmatched in value. The van's gold had been appraised, secured, and insured. The inheritance they mocked had made her wealthier than all of them combined. Her mother-in-law's face turned pale, her smugness collapsing into disbelief. The others avoided her eyes, suddenly quiet, suddenly small. Maria didn't gloat. She didn't laugh as they had at her. She simply walked past them, her daughter's tiny hand gripping hers, her unborn child safe inside her. For in that moment, justice wasn't about revenge. It was about dignity. The rusted van had revealed its truth, and so had Maria.